Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Tal-Hochberg. Tal-Hochberg is Group Chief Technology Officer of Team 8, advising foundry companies in their creation process and supporting portfolio companies as they scale. Gal is an entrepreneur with over 15 years of experience building and leading software companies in the areas of cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, fintech, and blockchain. Prior to joining Team 8, Gal was co-founder and CEO at Clear, an enterprise blockchain company that builds decentralized clearing networks for global industries, serving companies such as Vodafone, Telefonica, and Deutsche Telekom. Well, good afternoon, Gal. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you taking the time today. I know you're hailing out of the great country of Israel, so we've got quite a time distance of about 9 hours. So thank you again. And Gal, we're going to jump right into the questions here. You've got quite the career in technology as a software engineer, a serial entrepreneur, and now you're the group CTO, Chief Technology Officer of Team 8. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Absolutely. I think it's a combination of a few different things. Number one is that something that's been guiding me throughout my entire career is really trying to find where are the places which both engage me and I'm good at, and then meeting great people to do that with. So part of it was luck, being in the right place at the right time, knowing the right people. Part of it was the natural talents that I was born with and the dedication to put them into practice. For me specifically, I love learning things, and so I can bring the knowledge that I learned to any place that I come. And then thirdly, which is an important one, is just being nice, knowing people, having them want to work with you. It's really, really important today. So I think those three things were key.
Absolutely. And at the core of it, people are the most important resource, and having those relationships is so important. So, Gal, we're going to switch gears here. We've been a challenging last 2 years, right? During the pandemic, but what was the single biggest business decision you had to make during the first year of the pandemic? And how different is your business strategy today?
So when the pandemic was starting, I was the CEO of a startup company called Clear. And we had one line of business for our startup that was just picking up, another one that was new. And we looked at what's going on with COVID. And our clients were our telecom operators. And we saw that the line of business we were in, which had to do with international calls, was going to be significantly hit. And we looked at a runway and we said, we don't want to be in a place where things are picking up, but they're not becoming big enough, because we had, projections to where we need to go. And on the other side, we can't get any funding because people are scared from the pandemic. And so we basically had to cut half of the company. We consolidated the two lines of business into one, only betting on the newer one that was easier to run and had more staying power. And we basically stopped a product from being served to customers, slowly turning that off for them and letting a few people go. And that was probably the single hardest business decision of my career. I think it worked out well for us. I think that it was a good idea. That line of business didn't really pick up again. It wasn't enough revenue, and the other one was more successful. And it was also made us all focus a little bit on burn, which is always important in startups, and you sometimes forget how much. I think we did, I wouldn't say miscalculate, but it ended up being not so bad. So the pandemic had less effect on investors as we thought. The customers, were able to buy and still, work with us. And so I think it made us more efficient and had us make decisions we didn't think we maybe would have put off. But today, I think there's just so much to do. There's so much money out there. I think today, expand, push forward. There's just so much going on, even with the pandemic and everything that's going on.
Thank you for sharing. And, we talked to everybody that's been on this, because this podcast actually started around the pandemic. But we talked to everybody, and everybody's has a different story. And some people had to go through some hardships, and I understand you did as well. And we appreciate the share. We know what the struggle is. So thank you. So Gal, you're obviously leveraging some new and emerging technologies within your tech stack. Is there anything you might be able to share with us today?
Well, I think as part of Team 8, I get to see not just what we do internally, but also all of our portfolio companies. And it's really interesting to see just how prevalent containers and Kubernetes and cloud is. It's like for many companies, Battery put out a report that says cloud penetration is like 8%. But if you look at startups on the ground, the new technology being built, it's almost all being done there, leveraging serverless technologies and low code and no code. So it's still a small percent, but the newest companies, the best companies are using these sort of tools. And I think even for myself, who, I've been in tech, a decade, 2 decades, these are new things. And I think we should all look at them, because what in the past would require engineers and IT people, now you can do with just one person, or even with no engineers, just plugging, things that can connect together well. And these tools are now really good. So that's always been surprising to me, is how much you can get done without almost running any code, or without owning any servers, not just cloud-wise, like not even VMs. So there's so much to do there. And I think it's super powerful. And I recommend people look at it.
Absolutely. There's some amazing things. And I've spent some time at MIT doing some of the latest technology that is coming out. And I was just amazed about how the average person can just kind of plug and play. And I think that's where we need to be at the end of the day, right? So yeah. Last question, Gal, I'm sorry. Could you share with something from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career, maybe in tech or entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in technology was when I was negotiating, when I was a freelancer. So between positions, I was doing consulting work. And there was a customer of mine that wanted me to do a job, and it was for $100 an hour. They wanted to pay $100 an hour, and I thought that I wanted it to be $150 an hour. And I was stressed about the negotiation. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. So I spent 30 minutes talking to an advisor of mine to help me think through how to negotiate. I went to the meeting. I was super stressed. I thought they could see that. And then I, literally asked for the $150 an hour. They said no. I said, listen, it's really important for me. I have to do it. And eventually they said yes. And what I learned is that all my technology and experience was worth $100 an hour. And then my willingness to try to ask for the right price and negotiate was worth another $50 an hour. But it's a lot shorter amount of time. And so that really opened my eyes to the importance of, again, that human aspect. It's about building those relationships. It's about being able to be in uncomfortable situations. It's about taking risks. And I think a lot of people in tech, because of how engineering works, it's all about reducing risk. It's all about controlling risk. And I think if you want to grow and to succeed, you have to do things that are uncomfortable for you. Now, without being good, it's hard to succeed. You have to be good. But to make that good go much farther, you should talk to people, ask for things. You might be told no. It might be risky. But I think that's super, super important. And you have to be super nice about it all the time. I think that's a big thing that many people, especially tech people, are afraid of doing, or it's less comfortable for them. And there's so much value that they can get. And this, of course, touches on women pay in the workplace, et cetera. I think it's a big thing that a lot of people should focus on.
Thank you for sharing. And you're absolutely right. We all have a worth and we have a value, and it's important that we stand up for ourselves and speak up and ask for that $150 an hour. Obviously, so I appreciate the story, and that's very helpful for our audience here. So, Gal, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Bye for now.